Okay, everybody, guess what time it is? It's spring, as if you couldn't tell, here in the desert. And it's also then means time for all the new models to come out. So, Fred, where are we?
So we're at the McDowell Mountain Regional Park, and today is Pivot Demo Days. Yesterday and today they're out letting everybody try out their bike line. So we basically get to try out a couple of little first rides here for about an hour, so nice little test drives of these bikes. So Pivot is a company based in the Phoenix area. It's in Tempe, Arizona.
Woohoo!
Yes, local.
Go local.
And this particular bike is their Firebird 29. It has the it's a carbon framed 29er bike, but it also can allow for 27.5 plus tires on here as well.
So hence the logo.
Yep. And if we kind of start from the beginning and work our way back, so it looks like we've got 162 millimeters of travel on this particular bike. We've got the Fox Factory 36 front fork, I should say.
And this has the cashmere coating, we should point out, which
Yes.
is supposed to make them very supple.
Yes, and so far so good. In our cockpit here, we've got Dior XT shifters as well as brakes.
And you got yourself a dropper too.
Yeah, we got a nice dropper. It's a Fox dropper.
Fox dropper.
All right.
All right.
It's called the, I guess it's the transfer. At the middle here, you can see we also have the, what is it, the Performance Float X2 Fox shock
Rear
here.
shock.
Yes, and it is huge.
Right.
Yes, this is a long traveled 29er, so obviously the 162 is probably pretty big on the size there. You can see there's no space here for any kind of water bottle.
No.
So I think you can mount something on the bottom here, so it does have a couple mounts here for that. So this is a Shimano 1x11. The rear derailleur is an XTR. The front crank and chain ring is race face. And it has the chain
Drop
guide.
guard.
Yep.
Okay.
Drop guard, yeah.
And what kind of brakes you got going
And then
there?
it's the XT, Shimano XT brakes with the quad pistons.
Okay.
And the tires that are on here are the Maxxis, Minion DHF and the DHR, I do believe it's in the rear.
Yep.
So they're pretty good size. They're 29 to
So you got you got 2.5 up front and 2.4 in the back.
2.4 in the back, which is typical, right? Usually we'll have a slightly larger one in the front versus the rear.
How about the feel of the suspension?
So far it's been very, very plush. I mean, it's we haven't gone through anything super technical here on this because this is my first time trying to ride it, and I don't want to, just nail down a bunch of different rocks here. And not to mention, I don't usually ride like that anyway. And who knows, like this bike might be a little overkill for it because this is definitely an enduro style bike, right? You can definitely race downhill on this thing and just go through everything. I mean, it does have that tank feel to it. One more thing to note here, and I'm gonna kind of flip it around here so we can see this, but it does have internal cabling, obviously, with the and they did a very nice job with this little kind of keeping the cabling really simple and clean. Comes in, and then you got your this is for the rear brake here on this side, and on the other side has a actually I think it goes all the way inside and then out through the back of the
Rear triangle.
triangle there. And one thing I can mention about these XT shifters is it definitely is a loud clunk when you change gears, especially when you're down or shifting up to the pipe plate there.
Yep.
I do believe when I went to their website to build the bike, you have two options. You have there's like 3 different levels. And then you also have Shimano or SRAM options.
Okay.
So you can actually get it built, the way you would want it with the SRAM parts. If you wanted like the Eagle GX, whatever. Is
okay,
that
the Eagle GX,
yeah. You could actually get it set up with that as a 1x12 versus the Shimano options.
When you buy a Pivot, do you go through a local bike shop or do you buy from them direct?
You would buy through their local shop.
A local shop, so somewhere here in Arizona.
Yeah, there's quite a few local ones, obviously, since they're headquartered here in Arizona. So
natives, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then last question is the Firebird 29 available in aluminum?
No, it is not. I think it's carbon only.
So this is a carbon only. What is the basic price range we're talking about here?
Based upon like the componentry, it can go anywhere between, I think, like 5,500 to 7,000.
To as much as you want to spend.
Yeah, I guess
okay.
as much as you want to put in there. Yeah.
Okay. Fred, you're on your second bike of the day.
Yep, this is the second bike. This is the Switchblade. This is the carbon framed one versus they also have an aluminum one available. And this particular one actually has the 27.5 plus tires on here versus the 29ers. So again, it's optional for this bike to be a 29er or a 27 plus. And it has these Maxis, what is it?
Recons.
Yeah, Recons, but it's 27.5 by 2.8 tires. So I'm sure it can go up to probably a 3 as well on these 27 size, because there's plenty of room, you can tell on the front as well as in the back.
How are they hooking up for you on the corners there?
So it feels really good. Just actually, it's really nice because this is a large frame versus the other bike that I tried, which was a medium, and I feel so much better on this bike. It actually feels like the right kind of length for my arm. I have to put the seat post down quite a bit for it to fit for me because I have short legs,
okay.
But the cockpit itself feels perfect.
All right, well, should we go through
Let's go
a rundown of what this bike is equipped with?
Okay, so in the front we have, again, the Fox Factory 36 series of front shock here. The again, similarly styled with the shifters and the brakes themselves. So it's Dior XT brakes and the shifters are XT, but the rear derailleur is again XTR. So again, this looks like to be a 1x11 as well. And it has the same, actually, these XT do not have the quad pistons like the other ones did. But it does have, it's the single pistons, or the double pistons, yeah.
Okay.
And it does have the heat sink fans or blades. So this has 135 millimeters of travel versus the Firebird 29, which had 163.
163-ish.
Yeah. And to tell you the truth, well, on this trail, like the other one felt pretty plush, but this one actually feels very similar with these really wide, low pressure tires. So you put these big tires on here, and it feels like you have extra suspension. So this thing, even though it's 135, it still feels almost like 160.
Okay.
Is 165 overkill for my riding style, right? Because
yes.
I'm not I am not an enduro racer, and I'm not throwing myself down the waterfall at South Mountain,
But when that one time a year when we hit Moab, all of a sudden, like
then you like it, yeah.
So the difference is about 3 centimeters, right?
Yeah.
I would estimate, what is that, about 3 centimeters, sort of, about
that much.
So
yeah, right now, like this bike feels great. So
yeah,
I'm really impressed with it.
I've never ridden a 27, but I liked it. I thought it was a little playful.
Mm-hmm.
Even though those tires are probably running at 12 psi. I'm joking, but they're running low, whatever they are.
Yeah, they're definitely, I would say, probably about 18 pounds.
Okay.
Same issues with the shifting, very clunky shifting because of the XT versus, I think your Eagle, SRAM Eagle GX has a lot smoother than the Shimano ones. Again, this also has the internally cable routed brakes and shifters. So again, a nice clean cockpit. You can see it coming out for the shifter out of the back here through the triangle. And let's see what. Yeah, we have a very similar. It's still the race face. Looks like the Chester pedals, or excuse me, cranks, and the race face chain ring on the front.
But interestingly, no drop guard. But
no drop guard on this one. I'm sure you can put one in, and I can see there's the mounting brackets right there for a chain guide or a guard or whatever you want to put on there.
Now, how much are we looking to buy one of these rigs?
All right, so this one comes in aluminum as well as carbon. So I think when you get into the aluminum range, you could probably get it into the 3,000 range based on the componentry you get. And if you get it with the carbon and everything else on there, you can go easily probably to $6,000 to $7,000 as well.
And is it available frame only?
I do not know. I would assume it is, but it's hard to tell. I'll double check on that.
Flash it on there for our
we'll let
viewers.
everybody know if it is available in frames.
So your initial reaction, which of these two rigs would you choose at this point?
At this point, I would actually choose the Switchblade
over
I would
the
too. Firebird 29. Now, ask me that again if I got the right sized Firebird over at a really technical area, or at, you know, while we're in Moab or something like that, maybe I might wish for it. But I mean, I've handled my bike. My current bike is only 120 millimeters of travel, so this is a nice step up from that in itself. And again, I like the option of being able to switch out the tires with something like the 27.5 for those sandier conditions and stuff, if we ever run into those types of needs.